About 5 years ago or so, I was like, okay, I really want to be in this business, but I don't know what that looks like for me and what that means. And I'm all about, the universe pushing you towards, organically what that looks like. And so what that has manifested itself to be is building community in this space. So one of the things that I am focused on is telling our stories in this space and making sure that our icons are being recognized and the people that are really doing the work are being seen. So that's why we're here mostly. But I am really excited to have this conversation with Shawn today from Pineapple Express. Thank you, Mr. Shawn Credle, for being here with us today. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Can you tell me, we just dive right in.
Let's do it.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like for those that are in the room that may not know who you are, I'm sure everybody should know who you are, but can you give me like a little 2-minute spiel about what you do right now and who you work with?
Sure. So for a lot of familiar faces, some I know, some I just met today. So I'm Shawn Credle, the CEO and president of Pineapple Inc. That's a publicly traded entity that owns Pineapple Express, the legal cannabis dispensaries around. We opened one here right on the corner of Hollywood and Vine, right behind us, one in Palm Springs, and we've been number 3 in delivery through the greater Los Angeles area for the last 3 years. So we also own the trademark Pineapple Express. We own the trademark THC, if you can believe that as well. And then we have, thank you. And we have a nationwide distribution of health and beauty products with Pineapple Wellness, a CBD only division. And I sit on the National Cannabis Advisory Council. I'm the youngest Black and brown Puerto Rican as well. CEO of a publicly traded cannabis company in the country today. I think that's about it for a high level view.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's all you got?
That's it.
No, that's dope.
And I just want to say thanks for having me here too.
Yeah.
This is a great event. A lot of great energy in the room.
I appreciate you. So one of the first questions I always ask folks is, what was your path to the plant? Like, how did you get to cannabis? How did that even become a part of your life?
Early on, it wasn't. I grew up pretty much during that Reagan era where, DARE and all that stuff. So I kind of believed all of it because I grew up around a lot of drugs, around the, my neighborhood and things like that. So for me, it was black and white. If it was illegal, then I wasn't messing with it. And so fast forward through the Marine Corps, and it was actually the founder of Pineapple who asked me to come aboard, restructure, create a new culture for Pineapple. That was about almost 4 years ago. And I turned it down about 3 times. First, I didn't want to move to California. I didn't know how I would be involved in cannabis so much. But he hit me with, well, why the hell do you have 4 master's degrees and what are you doing with all this stuff? So I kind of thought, it was a great opportunity to take a publicly traded company in cannabis from this side of federal criminalization to the other side of legalization and all the things that we can do amidst that. And also being my color, having a platform to help others like us kind of move in this space as well, yourself included.
Yeah. So I guess that was going to be one of my questions. Like being in this space, you said that you really, I guess, weren't into drugs or anything that was like, I think it's interesting to like go from that to being like,
Yeah, it is. People to this day, people that known me forever, and a lot of my Marine Corps buddies, like, how the hell are you doing this? Or, I don't know. Like you said, the universe, right? So I think that all my life I've gone to the beat of my own drum and what the universe gives you. And typically, if you go in the direction of what the universe is giving you, it tends to get the hell out of your way, and you can do your thing. So
yeah. So when did you join Pineapple Express?
This was almost 4 years ago. So coming up this fall.
Okay, so your tenure kind of started right before a couple of years before we got into this pandemic. How do you feel like that has affected the way that you have managed the business and the business decisions that you've made overall?
Well, there's a lot of people that benefit and don't benefit from crises or a certain pandemic. We actually benefited a lot from the pandemic. We've been mastering delivery throughout Los Angeles since 2019. So once California deemed, or once cannabis was deemed a essential business during a pandemic for delivery, we were already primed to kind of take on that challenge. And other dispensaries that didn't have delivery or had to to try it for the first time didn't have the logistics in place for that. So we were already delivering to folks in 30 minutes or less, taking credit card and debit cards on the legal side. So we were already primed and ready. So we tripled our sales for the month of April and May during 2020.
That's dope.
Yeah.
With that in mind, I think that you're often in a lot of spaces where there aren't people that look like you. So, like, what's that like? And I guess what type of weight do you feel is on your shoulders to be a representative for the community in those spaces?
So this past October, I was in New York for, I sat on the Benzinga National Cannabis Advisory Council. And I spoke up there. It was a 2-day conference, capital markets conference. I was the only one like me, which shocked a lot of people. But I can tell you in the cannabis space, you don't really feel uncomfortable because everyone is mostly cool. Even if they're not your color, they're actually, rooting for you and want to prop you up on those pedestals. I would say there's no pressure for me to be a champion for us, simply because I went through 9/11. I went through war and all that stuff. So honestly, anything outside the Marine Corps is not that life and death to me. So I'm able to do that, and I'm happy to do that.
That's good. So what is Pineapple Express doing kind of explicitly to help support the community right now?
So what we're trying to do is I'm trying to bring on and give a shot to Black and brown brands that don't have a shot in other, major companies. I'll keep those out of my mouth right now, but I see it as a service, man. I think that no one can elevate us more than us. But at the same time, I think some of these guys in here would agree, we are our own worst enemy sometimes too. And we got to stop that. Honestly, stop the hating, man. You gotta prop each other up. I think the saying is don't hate, congratulate. Like, let's keep galvanizing, and I know Anthony knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think it's incumbent upon us, and especially for me, to help anyone that we can. So I try to do that in my stores, giving shots to brands that may or may not have that in. A lot of brands too may just have great flower, but may not have a lot of help with packaging and design and art that will actually sell to mainstream. Yeah, you can sell maybe on the street or something like that, but if you really want to, cross markets and cross state lines, you got to have something more marketable to reach the masses. So that's what I try to do with our in-house, our creative design. I try to get, elevate those folks and say, okay, this is a great design, but let's try to make it more mainstream so it's picked up by other folks as well.
From my experience and even in creating and co-collaborating on this event, what I see is the biggest problem for Black brands is we ain't got no money. So how do we get to it? How can people like you that are with brands that have funds, how do these big brands help prop up our smaller marginalized brands that are trying to break through but just can't do the capital? They just ain't got it.
Right. Well, we have to get a lot of investors involved, and I challenge a lot of other companies, not just my own company, but I challenge a lot of other companies too to carve out certain budgets for starting and startups in terms of that. Also charging them to not just try to get others in this space, but also try to get through Last Prisoners Project and other organizations like that, try to get us out. There's 26,000 Black and brown people are in jail right now for cannabis offenses, and here I am making a living off of it, and there's guys like that are not, and that's, you can imagine how you would feel in a cell right now if you're looking at all this that's going on.
Yeah. Absolutely. So with that in mind, I read that you have political aspirations. What does that look like for you? And how do you think that you could use your platform to support some of the things you were just talking about?
Well, yeah, I do have political aspirations, and I won't get heavy into it, but my whole idea is, a lot of folks, and if I say that, some folks may cringe and like, oh, why do you want to do that? How's it going to change though if we don't get, progressive folks in office? I even say that for police. I don't like the term defund the police, because if you call 911, it's a busy signal, you're going to be upset. So I would say don't defund the police, become the police, put more people, progressive folks in all these types of, municipalities and government that we complain about. Don't sit on the sideline and say, you should do this, do something. So I feel like, my service will never stop after the military. So I want to continue on doing public service. And I think I have a great voice to do that. And I actually care. I wore U.S. Marines on my chest for a while, and not a lot of presidents have, honestly. So So yeah, I'm in it to win it.
So you want to be the president?
Yeah, why not? Why go half-ass?
Yeah, fucking right. Let's do it.
You know?
So, anyways, y'all vote for Shawn. All right. Definitely vote for Shawn. But no, I appreciate you. I am just, like I said, I can't say enough how grateful I am to be in this room amongst so many amazing, amazing people doing amazing, amazing work in this space. So I thank you for your time. I appreciate you. I honor you, and I look forward to working with you.
Likewise. And give it up for the other folks in this room, too, that are doing great things.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Give it up to yourselves.
Nice.
Energy is dope in here. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time.